Welcome to Wisdom and Wealth, where we focus on building a fulfilling life, especially for those of us navigating the second half. This channel provides practical advice and timeless wisdom to help you make the most of every day. If you're looking for ways to enhance your life, relationships, and mindset, then this is the place for you. And, if you find value in what we share, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel. We release new content regularly. When the first light of dawn gently kisses your eyelids, consider this: the world outside may remain unchanged, but within you lies the profound power to reshape your perspective. In that serene, hushed moment, before the relentless demands of the day crash upon you, before your phone illuminates with urgent notifications, before the voices of others penetrate your consciousness, you possess a unique opportunity. A precious moment of undisturbed potential. This is your moment of personal empowerment, a gift often overlooked in the rush of modern life. Sadly, too many people stumble blindly into their day on autopilot. Driven by a sense of urgency, they never recognize that this moment is to be driven by true purpose. Yet, those who have cultivated a deep understanding of the power of beginnings know that your entire day hinges on how you launch it. Reflect on the profound truth that the initial thoughts you permit to enter your mind are akin to the very first brushstrokes upon a pristine, untouched canvas. They possess the remarkable ability to color your perception, influencing the way you interpret every subsequent experience and encounter. If you commence your day shrouded in a cloud of doubt, fear, or stress, even the most insignificant inconvenience can feel insurmountably overwhelming. The little things that used to be an annoyance now become a giant mountain you have to climb. Conversely, if you begin your day with a sense of being deeply grounded, centered, and connected to your core purpose, then even the most formidable challenges can transform into invaluable stepping stones, guiding you towards growth and resilience. This, my friends, is the very essence of true inner strength, the underlying principle that motivates our gathering here today. Every single morning, you are presented with a profound choice, a crossroads that shapes your destiny. You can choose to awaken and react passively to the external forces that seek to dictate your experience, or you can choose to awaken and actively lead your own life, guiding your thoughts, emotions, and actions with intention and purpose. True leadership, my friends, begins with the self. It's not about your title or pedigree, it's about self-mastery. Regardless of the titles you hold, the responsibilities you bear, or the circumstances from which you originate, you are, at the core, the leader of your own life. And the most effective way to lead is to master the power of your own thoughts. This is precisely where the practice of affirmations transcends mere empty words, transforming into a powerful and indispensable tool, a tool for meticulously shaping the landscape of your mind, aligning your focus with unwavering precision, and quieting the cacophony of anxieties that often arise before the sun even graces the horizon. Speaking affirmations aloud is not about pretending that everything in your life is flawlessly perfect. It's not about a false persona, it is about fearlessly declaring your unwavering intention to confront the day with presence, with clarity, and with unwavering inner strength. Some may argue, but I simply don't feel strong in the morning. And that, my friends, is precisely why this practice holds such profound significance. The strongest among us are not those who are immune to feelings of fatigue, fear, or uncertainty. Rather, they are the individuals who consciously choose to act with unwavering discipline, even in the face of those challenging emotions. Affirmations serve as a form of internal discipline, a means of directing your inner compass. When you awaken and consciously choose to speak words of truth and empowerment to yourself, you are laying a solid and unshakable foundation, one that external events cannot easily disrupt or undermine. Imagine venturing into battle without the protection of armor. This is precisely how most people unknowingly confront their mornings, vulnerable and exposed. However, when you commence your day with affirmations, you are essentially donning mental armor, not to shield yourself from the inevitable challenges of life, but to navigate them with unwavering courage, with steadfast control, and with unwavering inner calm. You remind yourself of your inherent worth, you reclaim responsibility for your own energy, and in doing so, you fundamentally alter not only the trajectory of your day, but the overall course of your life. Now, let's delve even deeper into this transformative practice. The unique way in which your mind functions in the early hours of the morning differs significantly from its operation throughout the rest of the day. During those precious first few minutes upon waking, your brain enters a more receptive state, often described as a gateway to the subconscious mind. This is a pivotal time when carefully chosen suggestions can bypass resistance and take root within your inner landscape, profoundly influencing your thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. Therefore, when you consistently repeat affirmations such as, "I am focused, I am disciplined," and "I am worthy," you are not merely reciting motivational slogans. You are planting seeds of potential within your subconscious mind. And with each repetition, you are diligently watering and nurturing those seeds, cultivating a new mental environment that actively supports growth, inner peace, and purposeful action. Of course, this transformative process does not unfold overnight. Lasting change never does. But over time, as the repetitions accumulate, so too does your sense of self-identity. You gradually cease needing to constantly remind yourself to be confident, as you naturally evolve into someone who embodies confidence as a natural and inherent state. You gradually cease needing to resist distractions, as you instinctively choose to focus your attention on what truly matters. This, my friends, is the silent and often underestimated power of morning affirmations. They don't shout or demand. They gently but powerfully shape your inner world. And let us be unequivocally clear about something crucial. True success is not solely about achieving external accolades or material possessions in the world. True and lasting success lies in awakening each day with a deep sense of alignment, living each moment with unwavering intention, and resting peacefully at night, knowing that you have remained true to your chosen path. And this kind of profound success, my friends, begins each morning, not with noise or urgency, but with stillness, with clarity, with a deliberate breath, and with carefully chosen words that awaken the dormant strength that already resides within you. Some people often ask, how do I find motivation in the morning? But the truth is, it is not about finding motivation. It is about consciously creating it. Motivation is not some elusive force that magically appears. It is something you actively generate, like a fire you intentionally choose to ignite. And your affirmations, my friends, are the spark that sets that fire ablaze. You are the one who wields the power to light that spark. And over time, that initial spark grows into something far greater and more enduring than mere temporary inspiration. It evolves into discipline. And discipline, unlike fleeting motivation, is not driven by fickle emotions. Discipline is a steadfast commitment to your own growth, to your deeply held values, and to the unique journey you have chosen to embark upon. When you cultivate this empowering habit each morning, you are no longer at the mercy of the day's unpredictable events. You become the architect of your own experience, shaping your day with intention and purpose. So, before the world reaches you, before the cacophony of external noise, before the influx of messages and opinions, before the demands and expectations of others, take the time to speak to yourself. Consciously decide who you will be before anyone else attempts to define it for you. Let your first thoughts be strong, not scattered, let them be deliberate, not chaotic. And from that place of stillness, clarity, and intentionality, you begin the day already ahead, already empowered. Remember, my friends, the morning is not a race to be won. It is a sacred ritual to be revered. Treat it with the respect and reverence it deserves. Honor that precious space within yourself. Use it wisely, for how you begin your day often dictates how far you will ultimately go in life. Now that we have established a deep understanding of the profound importance of the morning, that sacred time when the mind is open and the path ahead is still untouched by the world's distractions, let us turn our attention to the practice itself, the affirmations. These are not mere empty phrases, but rather a conscious declaration of who you are, what you deeply value, and what you are willing to diligently walk toward with unwavering commitment. Words, my friends, carry immense weight. They shape our intentions. And when spoken with clarity, conviction, and unwavering consistency, they have the power to shape our very reality. You may find yourself wondering why we emphasize the use of 14 specific affirmations. The answer is simple: each one is like a rung on a ladder, carefully designed to lift you higher and higher toward the realization of your best self. Each affirmation touches upon a core aspect of mental strength, self-discipline, or focused intention, cultivating a well-rounded inner landscape. And just as the body thrives on a balanced and comprehensive training routine, so too does the mind benefit from affirmations that activate different areas of your inner world. Areas such as confidence, calmness, determination, gratitude, and presence. Let us walk through each affirmation slowly, not as a mere recitation of words, but as a deep realization of their inherent power. The first affirmation: I am grounded and present in this moment. This serves as a gentle reminder to return to the present moment. The mind often awakens and immediately races into the future, worrying about what hasn't been done or fearing what lies ahead. But true power resides in presence. To be grounded is to remain unshaken by imagined futures or lingering regrets from the past. Start here. Begin your day rooted firmly in where you are, right now. The second affirmation: I am grateful for this new day and the opportunity to grow. Gratitude softens resistance. It opens your heart. It gently shifts your mind away from the tendency to complain and toward the vast realm of possibility. When you appreciate the day as a chance for growth, not a burdensome obligation, everything becomes lighter and more manageable. You move through life with more ease and grace. Even challenges are perceived through a different lens, revealing opportunities for learning and transformation. The third affirmation: I am capable of handling anything that comes my way. This is not arrogance, but rather profound self-assurance. You remind yourself that you have faced adversity before, and yet you are still here, standing strong. Your strength does not lie in avoiding discomfort, but in meeting it head-on with composure and unwavering trust in your own abilities. The fourth affirmation: I am focused and free from distraction. In a world saturated with noise and distractions, true focus is a rare and precious commodity. But it is also a skill that can be cultivated and strengthened through consistent practice. By affirming your focus each day, you are actively training your mind to prioritize what truly matters. When you begin your day with a declaration of clarity, it becomes far easier to recognize and let go of the insignificant details that attempt to pull you off course. The fifth affirmation: I am disciplined and committed to my goals. Motivation comes and goes, ebbing and flowing like the tides. But discipline, on the other hand, endures. Discipline is not about relentlessly pushing yourself to the brink of exhaustion. It is about showing up, consistently, even when the mood isn't there. This affirmation serves as a contract, a quiet agreement between who you are in this moment and who you are actively striving to become. The sixth affirmation: I radiate confidence from within. True confidence is not bestowed upon you by others. It is not a fleeting performance. Rather, it is the natural consequence of knowing your values and living in alignment with them. It is built in silence, through repeated action, and unwavering self-respect. This affirmation reinforces that radiant energy from within. The seventh affirmation: I choose peace over stress. You are not in control of everything that happens throughout your day, but you are always in control of your response to those events. Peace is not the absence of challenge or adversity. It is the presence of stillness, even in the midst of a raging storm. Repeating this affirmation serves as a constant reminder that peace is a conscious choice, and you have the power to make that choice in every single moment. The eighth affirmation: I learn and grow from every experience. When you affirm this, setbacks lose their sting. Mistakes transform into valuable lessons. Growth is no longer tied to an unattainable ideal of perfection, but rather to presence, curiosity, and humility. This affirmation transforms the crippling fear of failure into fuel for profound personal transformation. The ninth affirmation: I speak to myself with kindness and respect. So many battles are fought in silence, within the confines of your own thoughts. This affirmation reorients your inner voice. You are not here to tear yourself down or engage in self-criticism. You are here to guide yourself forward with compassion and understanding. Self-respect begins with how you speak to yourself in those quiet, unguarded moments. The 10th affirmation: I attract positivity through my actions and energy. You do not need to chase after validation or approval from external sources. Energy is reciprocal. What you give out into the world invariably returns to you. Therefore, focus not on the actions of others, but on the energy you are choosing to embody and radiate. Kindness, resilience, and unwavering focus are powerful signals that the world responds to in profound ways. The 11th affirmation: I am in control of my habits and choices. This affirms responsibility, not as a burden or source of pressure, but as a source of immense personal power. You are not controlled by fleeting impulses. You have the power to pause, to reflect, and to choose. And the more you affirm this truth, the more your actions begin to align with your long-term purpose, rather than seeking short-term relief. The 12th affirmation: I am open to receiving abundance in all its forms. Abundance extends far beyond mere material wealth. It encompasses opportunity, love, clarity, peace, growth, and vibrant health. This affirmation opens your mind and heart to receive, not from a place of desperation or lack, but from a state of alignment and receptivity. You become acutely aware of what you already possess and what is poised to flow toward you with effortless grace. The 13th affirmation: I am resilient, and nothing can break my spirit. Resilience is not the absence of pain or hardship. It is the conscious decision to keep moving forward, even in the face of adversity. When you affirm your inner strength, you remind yourself that circumstances may bend you, but they will never break you. Your spirit remains unyielding. And finally, the 14th affirmation: I am walking my unique path with purpose and trust. You are not here to merely copy or emulate others. You are here to walk your own path, guided by your own unique inner compass. This affirmation centers you in that profound truth. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where you need to be, learning, growing, and unfolding in perfect timing. With unwavering trust in the process, you continue forward, knowing that you are on the right path. These affirmations are not magic spells or quick fixes. They are mirrors, reflecting back to you the inherent strength that already resides within. The focus, the peace, the courage, the wisdom, it's all within you. And like any practice, affirmations gain power through repetition. Speak them not just with your voice, but with your heart. Allow the words to settle into your breath, your posture, your choices. In the beginning, it may feel unnatural or forced, but over time, you will notice a subtle yet profound shift, not only in how you think but also in how you carry yourself, in how you respond to challenges, and in how you lead your life. The affirmations do not change the world around you. They change you. And in changing yourself, you begin to change how you move through the world. This, my friends, is the beginning of true self-mastery. Repetition is often misunderstood. People often assume that doing the same thing every day is boring, robotic, or even unnecessary. But repetition, my friends, is not a weakness. It is the very path to mastery. If something is important enough to affect your life deeply, then it is important enough to be practiced daily. That is the reason we repeat affirmations every morning, not merely to hear the words again, but to actively become the kind of person who naturally lives by them. The mind is meticulously shaped by what it is fed consistently. Just like water slowly but relentlessly shapes stone, your daily thoughts shape the very structure of your character, your confidence, and your overall direction in life. Repetition is the silent force that propels all meaningful change. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. And your habits are built upon what you repeatedly do. Each time you say, "I am focused," you are not just reminding yourself of a concept. You are reinforcing a neural pathway in your brain. Every repetition makes that connection stronger, faster, and more automatic. It's the same way a martial artist trains a movement until it becomes instinct. At first, every step feels mechanical. You have to consciously think about posture, breath, and movement. But with repetition, the movement becomes ingrained, becoming a seamless part of you. It's no longer something you consciously do. It's something you naturally are. Affirmations follow the same principle. They are mental movements. Repeating them daily is how we train the mind to stop reacting out of fear, out of impulse, out of ingrained stories, and instead respond with clarity, calmness, and conscious choice. Repetition is how you replace inner noise with profound stillness, confusion with unshakable conviction, and doubt with unwavering discipline. But it must be intentional repetition. There is a vast difference between simply saying the words and truly embodying them. When you speak each affirmation in the morning, don't rush through them. Don't say them simply because it's a task to complete. Say them because you are consciously choosing your direction. Say them like they matter, because they do. Not just to your morning, but to your entire day, to the kind of person you are actively becoming. Most people drift through life. They wake up and allow their thoughts to control them, their emotions to lead them, and their environment to define them. But those who understand the profound power of repetition, they no longer drift. They move with unwavering intention. They return each morning to the same practice, not because they are stuck or stagnant, but because they are actively building something of lasting value. Every repetition is a brick, and one day, without even noticing it, they look up and realize that they've built something unshakable. A mindset that can't be broken by circumstance. A discipline that doesn't depend on fickle moods. Think about how nature operates. A tree does not grow tall because it tries harder once in a while. It grows because it consistently follows its rhythm, repeating the process of reaching for the light every single day, whether the sky is clear or clouded. Growth does not come from sporadic effort alone. It comes from repeated effort aligned with a clear purpose. So why affirmations in the morning? Why practice them every day? Because the world will constantly try to pull you in different directions. Distractions, doubts, and demands will come, whether you are prepared or not. But repetition in the morning prepares you. It centers you. It reminds you of your destination before the turbulent waves of life arrive. When you start your day with a repetition of truth, of strength, and of clarity, you don't just survive the day. You command it. You may not feel the shift immediately. And that is where most people give up. They say, "I've said these affirmations for a week, but nothing has changed." That's like planting a seed and digging it up every morning to see if it's grown. The real transformation is happening underground, slowly, invisibly, and steadily. And then one day, it breaks through the surface. But only if you stay consistent, only if you honor the process. Repetition requires patience. It requires trust. And above all, it requires faith. Not in something outside of you, but in yourself. Faith that you are worth the effort, that your future is worth protecting, and that your mind is worth training. Ask yourself, what do you want to be automatic in your life? Stress, doubt, and procrastination, or calmness, focus, and discipline? Whatever you repeat becomes your default state. So choose wisely. Choose daily. Choose deliberately, because repetition is not passive. It is powerful. It is how transformation happens without force. It is how your inner world shifts so that the outer world responds. Let us also be clear about something vital. Repetition does not make life dull. It makes life sharper and more refined. The same way a blade is sharpened by repetition, the mind is strengthened by returning again and again to the thoughts that truly matter. Every time you affirm your strength, you weaken your fear. Every time you affirm your focus, you weaken your distraction. And over time, you no longer need to force positive thoughts. They become your natural response. Repetition is not about perfection. It is about consistency. You will miss some days. You will say the words without fully feeling them. That is human. But what matters is that you return again and again, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, because those are the moments when the repetition truly carries you. You don't have to feel inspired every day. You just have to return to the words. Let them do the work. Eventually, the affirmations are no longer just something you say. They are something you deeply believe. They become a part of your identity. And when belief and behavior align, that is when true and lasting change begins, not just for a day, but for a lifetime. That, my friends, is the silent power of repetition. Starting your day with strength is not a one-time event. It is not something you try once and then forget. It is a decision you make over and over again, not just in the morning, but throughout your entire journey. And while the affirmations, the repetition, and the morning practice are valuable tools, what matters most is the person you choose to be. When no one is watching, when it is early, when it is quiet, and when the choice is yours alone, will you choose to rise or to remain the same? Each day is a blank page, not in the poetic sense, but in a very real and practical way. You are not chained to who you were yesterday. You are not limited by your past thoughts or yesterday's mood. The beauty of morning is that it reminds you of this powerful truth. Every sunrise is an invitation to begin again, stronger, clearer, and more intentional, not perfect, just present. Present with your path, your vision, and your voice. What happens when you begin every morning with that kind of awareness? Slowly, something begins to shift. You begin to trust yourself, not because you've achieved something grand, but because you showed up again, consistently, with heart. And that kind of trust builds a quiet power, the kind that doesn't need to be loud, the kind that doesn't need to prove anything. It just is. There will be days when the affirmations feel far from true, days when you wake up tired, uncertain, or perhaps even frustrated. That is a part of the process. That is not failure. That is training. A strong mind is not one that always feels good. It is one that remembers its purpose, even when things don't feel easy. That is why we train every day, not for the days when everything is going well, but for the days when it isn't. And on those days, it is the morning practice that becomes your anchor. When the mind wants to spiral, when the world feels heavy, and when doubt creeps in, it is those first few minutes, those first few breaths, and those first words you speak to yourself that set the tone. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a creator of direction. That is what it truly means to start your day strong. But it doesn't end there. The strength you build in the morning must carry into the day, not through force, but through presence. The discipline you affirm must translate into the actions you take. The calmness you invite must follow you into conversations, into challenges, and into decisions. It is not about being perfect. It is about being aligned, about living in a way that reflects the energy you created at the beginning of the day. And when you live that way, something powerful happens. You begin to build momentum. Each morning builds upon the last. Each repetition reinforces the one before it. And the person you are becoming stops feeling like a distant idea. It starts becoming your reality. Your thoughts, your posture, and your focus all begin to reflect this version of you that was once just a vision and is now a presence. You see, success is not one big moment. It is a collection of small, consistent decisions. It is the way you breathe when you feel overwhelmed. It's the way you pause before reacting. It's the way you remind yourself of your values when it would be easier to give in. These moments are small, but they are not insignificant. They are the steps of the journey, and you take them one after another. Each day you begin with intention. It is easy to wait for motivation to strike, to wait until you feel like it. But that is not the path of mastery. The path of mastery is paved with action, not mood. If you wait for perfect conditions, you will wait your whole life. But if you commit to showing up, even imperfectly, then you build something unstoppable. Not overnight, but over time, quietly, consistently, and daily. So start today, and start again tomorrow. Don't aim for dramatic transformation. Aim for quiet alignment. Speak the affirmations, even when you don't feel ready. Repeat them, even when they feel unfamiliar. Trust that your consistency will carry you through. It's not about changing everything at once. It's about changing one thing and letting that one thing ripple outward. Start with your breath. Start with your words. Start with your intention. And then let those shape your actions. Let your actions shape your identity. Let your identity shape your path. This is how real change happens, from the inside out. It is not enough to listen to affirmations. You must live them. You must carry them into your work, your relationships, and your choices. You must become the embodiment of the energy you create in the morning. That is what gives the practice meaning. That is what makes it powerful. Not the words alone, but the way they guide your being. And over time, you will not need to convince yourself. The affirmations will not just be statements. They will be reflections of who you are, of who you have chosen to become, not by accident, but by design, with patience, with presence, and with purpose. So rise each day with discipline. Speak each word with clarity. Move through each moment with intention. You are not here to live on repeat. You are here to rise, to refine, and to realize your potential, one strong morning at a time. We here at Wisdom and Wealth are always excited to work on building that future together. Like and subscribe so we can continue on the path together.